Good news and bad news in the fight to take back California from far left insanity. The good news is voters, according to the polling that we just received, are ready for change. They don't like the direction of the state. The bad news, don't count on the California Republican Party to figure out how to win the November election. But coming up, we'll talk about Reform California's 7-point strategic plan to support candidates and actually win in the November election. We need your help to get it done. Coming up, the details. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California. And yes, there's good news finally in our state politics. We've got voters finally waking up, and they realize this state is in deep, deep trouble, and they don't like the direction the state is headed in, and they want change. The bad news is the California Republican Party, the insiders, the establishment are absolutely incapable of responding to that voter hunger for change by fielding effective campaigns this fall. So it's going to be up to you and me. Hope is not lost. We're not going to be saved by someone galloping in from on high. We're going to be saved by you and me and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of other Californians coming together behind a grassroots movement. And that's what Reform California is dedicated to doing this November election. First, let me share with you that polling. I did it a few days ago in our previous podcasts. But here's the California Public Policy Institute of California poll. It just came out. So this is as we head into the November election. Where are the voters in terms of their sentiment? First, the top issue that they're concerned about, it's not personal pronouns. It's not the environment. It is the cost of living. It's the high taxes, mandates, regulations, fees, the cost of living in this state. And it's not just 36% saying cost of living, it's actually 54%, because the second biggest issue isn't just cost of living overall, it's housing costs specifically. It's 54%, a massive lead for that issue. Next, 54% of voters disapprove of Governor Gavin Newsom, only 44% approve. 57% disapprove of the state legislature, only 40% approve. And so when you go down even further to right track, wrong track, and this is an overall umbrella question of, do you think our leaders are going in the right direction, or are they making things worse? 62% of California voters say the wrong direction. Only 36% are happy with the direction. And by the way, you 36%, you need your damn heads examined, for God's sakes. So the polling shows that voters are not happy. They're ready for change. What we have to do is mount effective campaigns to connect with those voters and get them to vote for our ballot measures as well as vote for our candidates. Here is our Reform California strategic plan. You can actually get a full copy of this on our website, reformcalifornia.org. Reformcalifornia.org. It's posted up there. But our campaign priorities, a 7-point plan. First, I just want you to know we're more than a podcast on this channel. We are a growing grassroots movement. 600,000 subscribers across our various media outlets, 100,000 individual grassroots donors, and 30,000 active volunteers statewide. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. 84% of you, by the way, watching our shows are not subscribed to this channel. How are you going to get informed when we post a new episode every day? So please just smash that subscribe button, click the notification button, and help us grow our movement just on this channel alone. But we have subscribers to our media outlets, 100,000 individual donors. Please contribute at reformcalifornia.org and sign up to be a volunteer. Our voter guide is our number one weapon in helping defeat bad tax increases or bad ballot measures, in passing good ballot measures, and in supporting candidates all the way from statewide races down to school board and water board. 268,000 unique downloads in the March primary that we just held, which is an astonishing number, unique downloads. And we want to get that to 1 million in short order. Our achievements thus far haven't been because of the Republican Party of California. It's been because of you, grassroots supporters. We ended the Democrat supermajority in 2018. Reform California did that by recalling State Senator Josh Newman. And we have a plan to do it this cycle and next cycle in the state legislative races. We qualify reform-oriented ballot measures. The gas tax repeal in 2018, we help qualify the repeal of Prop 47, the PAGA repeal initiatives that are on the ballot in November. And yes, we have flipped target seats at the local level and the state level, recruiting, training, and helping elect hundreds of these candidates. Now, it's not a fair fight. Democrats have a big advantage because they have better messaging. I mean, Republican messaging in California is atrociously bad. I'll get to that in a minute. Second, Democrats take a team approach to helping each other out, whereas Republicans are very isolated. Democrats have a funding advantage, number three. They got union money and lobbyist money and corporate welfare. Number four, California Republicans just don't run good campaigns. More on that in a minute. Number five, you, the common sense Californian, are depressed and demoralized. You don't think that your vote matters. And so when you stay home and don't return a ballot, or your friends don't return a ballot, then we lose elections. Turnout is everything in these elections, and we have a demoralized center-right base in this state. Why can things change quickly? Well, number one, California is in a crisis by every measure. Cost of living, homelessness, crime, failing schools, the list of problems goes on and on. Their bad performance gives us an opportunity, and that's what that poll indicates. People are not happy with the direction of the state. Second, traditional media is dying. You're watching this podcast. We get over 500,000 to 1 million unique views each and every week for our news programs. And that means that we can break through the liberal media's bias with this directly to the voters. Latinos are now winnable. They're disgruntled. Asians are also winnable. They are furious about the poor quality of schools and affirmative action. And fifth, where we've run good campaigns, we have actually won. And so here's our graphic on Latinos, by the way. They're in agreement with our position on taxes being too high, crime being too high, schools being poor performing, and parents not having a say in what's going on with their children. Look at those numbers. Latinos are center-right voters. They've just never been courted effectively by the center-right candidates. So here are our 7 strategies to win in November. And it is limited only by gas in the tank, by bandwidth, by support. So I'm hoping that you will be inspired by this plan to get involved in our fight and support our candidates, use our voter guide, contribute, and volunteer. Number one, we have ballot measures on the ballot in November, and we need to take the fight to the ballot box by saving Prop 13, reforming Prop 47, ending frivolous lawsuits, defeating rent control, defeating local tax hikes. All of our ideas are on the ballot statewide. And it gives us wedge issues to differentiate ourselves from the other side. This is a positive agenda that's absolutely in line with the 70%. We want to make California affordable again. We want to make California safe again. We want to make California clean again. And with our reform of school boards, make California dream again. I'll make sure that our kids can dream with a quality education. Second strategy, we're fighting to create a team of fighters in Sacramento. If you know anything about the House Freedom Caucus, we're trying to create something similar called the Reform Caucus in the California State Legislature, in the State Senate and in the State Assembly, made up of fighters, not go along, get along, mamsy-pamsy Republicans who cave in and basically work with Democrats on their bad ideas. We want to confront. We want to oppose. We want to throw Democrats out of office and break the supermajority. Can't do that with mamsy-pamsy, go along, get along weaklings. What we need are fighters in Sacramento who are going to commit to, number one, running on the 70% issues that we've identified, making sure they get out there and improving their messaging through shows like this. I want each of those legislators to host a show like this in their own area. We need them to raise money. Most of them just raise money for themselves. I want them to raise money for the good of the order, the team. And finally, I want them to recruit good candidates to run for office and mentor them. I'm running for the Assembly District 75 position to be part of this caucus. And we have others that are joining and supporting Reform California's movement and are committed to be part of the Reform Caucus when we get through the November election. Number 3, we are targeting target seats that will maintain the House majority in California, as well as end the Democrat supermajority. There are 24 winnable target seats. We have listed them on our website, reformcalifornia.org. Of the 16 assembly seats that we're targeting, we only need 9 to break the supermajority. It's incredible how close we are to breaking the supermajority, and these are all winnable seats. 4th, we want to help local candidates for school board, city council, county board, any office through our voter guide. The damn shame is the California Republican Party and local parties, local Republican parties, they're not putting out endorsement guides. So no one knows who to vote for. They don't know who the liberal is, who the conservative is, because no party labels are on the local races. That's where our plain English voter guide comes in. And of course, we are doing a lot of ads locally to in target seats to move the needle on these candidate races. 5th, ballot harvesting and election integrity. We are hosting barbecue, beer, and ballot events, which we call our harvesting initiatives. We are sending out mailers handwritten by our volunteers saying, your ballot is missing. You haven't voted. We're trying to boost turnout in target seats. We have the Safe Vote Initiative, an aggressive outreach, particularly with churches, to explain how to vote early and track your ballot so that you know it was counted, not waiting to the very end, which only creates long lines and suppresses our vote. And yes, we have a whole project to train and deploy paid election workers within each county election office to ensure that signatures are properly reviewed and rejected as appropriate for mismatches. We have to make sure that our elections are done properly, and we have to boost turnout on our side. Number 6, our California Digital News Media Initiative is what you're watching right now. We are covering the wedge issues. We are getting news and information out to target voters. We do policy investigations. And of course, we're trying to train others on how to do this in their area by building up our California Social Influencer Network. Again, if you sign up as a volunteer to share our news stories as a social media volunteer, we train you and deploy you that way as well. This is going to overcome the advantage that the liberal media has, but we need everyone to participate. And number 7, California Emerging Leaders Initiative. We need to recruit candidates. The next several weeks, we are out there training candidates, helping them fill out their paperwork, filing them for every available seat. I hate it when a leftist wins a seat by default because no good person files to run against them. You do not have to be an expert in order to run for office. All you need to have is honesty and common sense. You are infinitely more experienced and qualified for the job than the felon that's probably in the seat right now. So please help us with candidate recruitment. Either you run or recruit someone to run by sending them to our website and connecting them with us. We're training campaign staff and managers. And of course, we're going to high schools and college campuses so that we can recruit high school and college students to power our door-to-door efforts to canvass for votes. Look, all of this takes resources. You need to tell everyone to work together. Ask candidates that you meet in the next several weeks and months, are you endorsed by Reform California? Are you working with them? Contact them. They've got resources. They want to help you. It's got to be a team effort. Also contribute directly to the campaign. Go to reformcalifornia.org. That's reformcalifornia.org. And let your friends know that they can be part of this movement here. Here's a couple things you need to do when you get to that website. First, do please consider a contribution. Here's the contribution button, top right. Contribute to this movement. We cannot do this alone. We do not have the big institutional donors that the Democrats do. We have grassroots supporters like you. Not you, who, if not now, when. Sign up to get the voter guide. The bottom of the site, first name, last name, email, phone, zip code. That means that you will get our voter guide by email and text message the same week that your ballot hits in October, early October. And of course, if you want to share the voter guides, we have our voter guides up online right here at reformcalifornia.org. Click under voter guides, and we have a local voter guide for your area as well as a statewide voter guide. We also have a number of issue-specific campaigns underway. Check those out, from the gas tax repeal to voter ID to stopping the mileage tax to flipping target seats to school board reform, Prop 47 and restoring public safety, homelessness, on, utility rates. We are active on so many issues that resonate with Californians, that are common sense, not partisan, common sense. So get involved and learn more about those campaigns. Volunteer. Here's that sign up to be a volunteer. And as I mentioned, the important role that you have in being a social media volunteer. Please be part of our movement. Contribute, volunteer, and sign up for those voter guides online at reformcalifornia.org. And while you're at it, 84% of you are not subscribed to this channel, as I mentioned. Do that now. Click that subscription button, smash that notification button so you can stay informed and we can grow our movement. We have a plan to take back our state. The voters are telling us in the polling they don't think the California politicians are doing a good job. We're not on the right track. But you can't beat something with nothing. Even something that's bad won't change unless we give something better. That's what Reform California's 7-point plan here that I presented to you is all about. The question for you is, will you help? If not you, who? If not now, when? Sign up online, volunteer, and contribute. reformcalifornia.org. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.